The following program has been closed captioned for the hearing impaired.
You're watching Indiana's Own, WISH-TV, Channel 8. Now, Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, Fred Kalil, and Stan Wood. Live from WISH-TV, this is Indiana's Own, News 8 at 11.
Good evening. A 5-year-old Carmel boy is dead tonight, killed in a strange accident near his home.
Police say the boy fell through a rusted-out part of a truck's floorboard. Ken Owen joins us now with the latest on this investigation. Ken?
Mike and Debbie, it happened just before 5:30 this afternoon. It happened near 99th and Keystone in Hamilton County. 18-year-old Timothy Eden was returning from picking up his little brother at school. Now, Timothy was driving his 1979 Ford Bronco eastbound on 98th Street. As he turned to go north on Sunnymead Lane, his 5-year-old brother, Christopher Eden, fell through a hole in the floorboard. Deputies say the child died from massive head and internal injuries caused by the impact of hitting the pavement. The boy was pronounced dead at the scene, which police say was some 250 feet south of his home. Now, investigators say the hole in the floor of the truck was about 12 to 14 inches wide. At this point, the accident is still under investigation, and no charges have been filed at this point.
Any evidence that alcohol may have played a role in this?
Mike, police said they did take urine and blood samples from the driver at the scene. They say, though, that is routine. They do not suspect that alcohol was involved in this crash. Just a terrible tragedy, and it happened so close to the child's home.
Sad. Okay, Ken, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken. On this, the one-year anniversary of that Kmart bombing in Castleton, investigators say they are close to solving the case. But the person who planted the bomb, which caused 5-year-old Aaron Bauer to lose one hand and vision in one eye, may never come to justice. As Rick Dawson reports now, the prime suspect in the case, a 19-year-old from central Indiana, apparently committed suicide 36 hours after the bombing.
The Marion County Sheriff's Department and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms form the backbone of the bombing investigation. In 12 months, leads have been slow in coming. But now the Sheriff's Department is hoping to close the case.
It was my understanding that we are looking at more than one suspect, but more and more it appears to me that it is narrowing down to one.
Sources close to the investigation say that suspect killed himself early on the morning of April 19th, a day and a half after the bombing. He had driven to this rural road where he shot himself with a .22 caliber handgun.
The young man only became a suspect several weeks after the bombing, when his parents recognized a police composite sketch. They thought the sketch resembled a friend of their son's who was known to have experimented with explosives. But soon, the investigators began to suspect the son.
The suspect's mother told News 8 that investigators took hundreds of items from her son's room, including small Christmas bulbs like these, similar to ones used to ignite the bomb. The mother says none of the items have been returned. And in a police report, the mother says the son had talked of suicide before. There are a number of reasons investigators are leaning toward this suspect. There have been no other bombings, and information about the incident has been practically non-existent, meaning no one has been able to claim any of the reward funds totaling $50,000. In the months since the incident, lab technicians have reassembled the homemade bomb, but there is still at least one crucial lab report pending, which could provide the so-called smoking gun, the final piece of evidence linking their chief suspect to this crime. If that piece of the puzzle isn't found, investigators admit privately this case may never be solved.
Respecting the family's wishes, News 8 is not revealing the name of the suspect until investigators do so. They now say they hope to have some new evidence and present it within the next week to 10 days. At the Castleton K-Mart, Rick Dawson, WISH-TV, News 8.
Now, the suspect's mother still maintains her son's innocence. She says she believes her son had knowledge to build that bomb, but says she can't believe he could have planted that in the store.
Well, investigators in Anderson say a fire that destroyed the offices of gospel singer Sandy Patty may have been deliberately set. A fire which authorities described as suspicious began at about 3 in the morning. Within minutes, huge flames were shooting out of that building. The fire damaged or destroyed computers and files, as well as some of Patty's many awards. By daybreak, the fire was under control, and friends were on hand to console the singer, who vows now to continue her ministry.
You know, I think in any situation we can choose to be defeated or we can choose to have victory over it, and we are not going to be defeated by this.
Patty says she's received no threats and calls the possibility of arson puzzling If you have any information, you're urged to call the Anderson Fire Department at 646-5691. All calls are confidential.
A small earthquake rocked Jay County in northeastern Indiana today. Officials say the quake shook buildings, rattled windows, woke up residents there. Jay County police say they had many calls about the tremor, but no reports of serious property damage. Indiana University seismologist Michael Hamburger says the quake registered 2.5 to 3 points on the Richter scale.
Let's find out now what's happening with the weather. Here's Randy Alice with First Weather.
Well, Debbie and Mike, it is a clear night out there. The satellite picture does indicate clear skies across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. Clear skies, light winds, radiational cooling, so it's going to be a cold night. Check out these lows by tomorrow morning. 24 to 28 here in central Indiana, 22 up north, upper 20s down to our south. So my first weather, first thing tomorrow morning as you head back to work or school. The morning dry forecast, a bright clear sky, a chilly 26-degree temperature reading at 7 o'clock, and winds will be on the light side. After a cold night, we are watching out for a warming trend, and we'll talk about that warming trend in a few minutes.
Thanks, Randy. President Bush is sending a warning to the Soviet Union tonight. Bush says if the Kremlin follows through on its promise to reduce oil supplies to Lithuania, the U.S. will have what he calls appropriate responses. Tonight, Moscow claims it is indeed tightening supplies of natural gas to the Republic, but Lithuania says it's seen no change in the flow of gas. Soviet President Gorbachev has vowed to cut energy supplies to Lithuania unless the public rescinds its declaration of independence.
A civil rights leader and controversial author is dead tonight. The Reverend Dr. Ralph Abernathy, who fought for civil rights alongside his closest friend, Martin Luther King Jr., died in an Atlanta hospital earlier today. And as News 8's Lisa Tubman tells us now, local civil rights leaders are saying tonight that history will remember the Reverend Abernathy well.
The Reverend Ralph Abernathy was checked into an Atlanta hospital last month for what doctors called a low sodium condition. 25 days later, at age 64, Ralph Abernathy died. He was perhaps the closest man to Martin Luther King Jr. at his side throughout the 60s civil rights movement. When King died in 1968, Ralph Abernathy led the procession in prayer.
The Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
There's no question but what Dr. Abernathy, in my mind, was, first of all, a faithful servant to Dr. King. Number two, he was also a faithful servant to the movement. He and Dr. King did an awful lot to create a climate of social empowerment as well as political empowerment for black people and poor people.
He was a great figure. He was a very brilliant, smart, aggressive, dynamic preacher.
The Reverend Andrew Brown knew Dr. Abernathy well. They often preached at each other's churches. Reverend Brown visiting Atlanta while Dr. Abernathy stirred the congregation in Indianapolis.
He had the words. He knew what to say and how to do it and make an impact on the emotions of the people. That's what he was noted for.
Last year, Ralph Abernathy caused something of a furor in the civil rights community with this controversial autobiography. In it, Abernathy talks of Martin Luther King Jr.'s alleged extramarital affairs. But despite the severe criticism this drew, some say Abernathy's own legacy won't be tarnished.
The ones who will be disturbed maybe about the book will be individuals that don't know him, and those who did not participate in the movement. They are disciples of the newspaper and the media. Now, they'll perhaps maybe remember that, but primarily, he will always be remembered for his approach.
Spring has sprung with great savings during Greg's Spring Savings Sale.
Get this 13-inch RCA color TV cable ready with remote, just $199 at H.H. Gregg.
Announcing the most important oil change in the history of lawn mowing. The new M-Series mower from Lawn Boy. With its unique oil injection system, you'll never have to mix or change oil again. The engine always receives fresh oil, so it lasts longer. The new M-Series mower. Once again, Lawn Boy gets the drop on the competition.
Weeds, no problem. Kill weeds and grasses, roots and all, with a shot of Roundup. For driveways, patios, fences. Make weeding easy with Roundup. Nothing kills weeds better.
Now, when you buy Green Sweep ready-to-use lawn care products, you can save $120 on American Airlines tickets. Get a lawn to be proud of with Green Sweep. Then, enjoy your $120 savings on American. It's easy with Green Sweep.
Our air conditioning? Not a day of trouble ever. Must be a good one.
Must be a Lennox.
Must be.
Lennox has the air conditioner that's right for you. For efficiency and comfort, it must be a Lennox.
Commitment, value, respect. The 3 reasons why people keep coming back to Sexton Environmental Systems for their home comfort needs. Discover the Sexton Environmental Systems difference and see what quality really is. Give Sexton a call today.
Attaboy, Dave. There's some good news tonight out of Bloomington. The recent outbreak of measles at Indiana University will not force officials to cancel any campus activities. Mass inoculations began on campus last week after 4 cases of rubeola or old-fashioned measles were confirmed. As of tonight, 6 cases have been confirmed on the campus. School officials say the cooperation by students to get their shots and the hard work of the medical staff has apparently stopped the disease from spreading further. Late last week, you'll recall, there was some concern that campus events like the Little 500 bicycle race might have to be canceled.
The American Academy of Pediatrics says that in 1989, the average child spent more time watching TV than any other activity except sleeping. And researchers believe that all that TV watching is indeed causing violent childhood behavior and contributes to the growing number of overweight kids. The Academy also estimates that teenagers who watch a lot of TV see and hear 14,000 sexual references and innuendos a year, but only 150 of those deal with abstinence, sexual responsibility, or contraception.
As an alternative, kids might consider clowning around. No, nothing like the class clown acting up and disrupting studies in school, but clowns who entertain and make people happy. That's exactly what an Indianapolis school is doing with some of its students. Our Liz Daly was on hand for opening night.
They're transforming right before our eyes. 4th and 5th graders from School 46 and a few teachers, too. Padding, lining, outlining, filling in, and brushing up, ever so carefully, turning into the Giggle Gang.
We're doing this to help to cheer people up and make people laugh that never laughed before.
Now the students are ready for their premiere performance here at Frame House Manor. And it is behind these closed doors where they find out clowning can also be good medicine. And these people got the message. Nothing but laughs and smiles in this crowd.
And it's just exciting being a clown.
Exciting and rewarding for the residents here and the students. This program was designed especially for kids who can use some positive experiences in their lives.
A lot of the children that we teach at our school, I felt some of them could use an extra boost of confidence, and it's just really paid off.
Yeah. Oh, it was so inspiring. And the clowns all made us think about being happy for other people. Made them feel that they were doing something good for all of us, too.
With the Giggle Gang at Frame House Manor, Liz Daly, Wish TV, News 8.
The Giggle Gang has 4 more performances planned this semester, but members say they still have dates available for organizations interested in a little clowning around.
We're hoping Randy Alice doesn't clown around with the weather. He'll have the forecast right after this.
Cassini, a love affair that never ends.
Available at LS Airs.
What if, instead of really cleaning all the things that got dirty, you simply vacuumed them? Absurd. You would never do that, right? Except when it comes to your carpet. Vacuuming may make carpets look clean, but Bissell's unique deep cleansing action gets dirt that a vacuum never will. The compact, easy-to-use Bissell Deep Cleaner, the best way to get the most out of your carpets.
Forgot to add the fabric softener.
If only he knew about Solo. You can't forget the softener in Solo, because Solo is detergent and fabric softener in one. Solo gives you a clean so soft, it's actually fluffed up higher with softness.
Wait! You missed it!
Next time, get Solo. It cleans with a softness you can't forget.
When he heard the news, he left in haste. Didn't want to miss that big, bold taste.
McDonald's cheddar melts.
It's beef from McDonald's, a quarter pound on a toasted rye bun, but it won't stay around.
McDonald's cheddar melts.
With cheddar cheese sauce, grilled onions too, it's a big, bold taste, too good to be true.
McDonald's cheddar melts.
Cheddar melt, for a limited time. To go at McDonald's.
The act went well today.
Yeah, except for your knee in my face.
Sorry about that.
But Bill, the next time, why don't you go out to trunk and I'll go out to windshield?
But I'm afraid of the dark. Joe, I think you ought to get smaller shoes.
I think you should lose some weight.
Need a ride? I've got plenty of room.
The practical, affordable Mitsubishi Mirage. It has the most passenger space of any car in its class, so there's more room for everyone's knees and noses and elbows and shoes and hats.
Hurry, come in now and get a great deal at your Indianapolis Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
I'm just scanning Randy's maps here.
Look at this.
Does this make any sense to you?
It's like a couple orders of pizza, but we're going to find out.
That's about right.
From Randy Ellis. We're going to translate all that for us in a couple of minutes, right?
That means warmer and maybe some rain coming in.
Is that all that
Sir, yeah, it looks great to me, too, but this is our dartboard we use, and I think we're going to see a warming trend. Mentioned, too, Stan is taking some time off. Let's check out the numbers for you. Well, we had a high this afternoon of 55 here in Indianapolis. Our low today, well, that's the current temperature reading. We dropped down to 36 degrees. The precipitation at the airport, about 0.05 of an inch of rain during the past 24 hours. Right now out there, clear sky, 36, the dew point 18, relative humidity 48%. We do have a northeast wind at 8, pressure pretty high and rising at 30.41 inches. Well, here's a look at the temperatures across the area. 29 in South Bend, 36 here, 41 down around Evansville. A freeze advisory down across southwest Indiana, south of the line from Sullivan over to Madison. The entire state will see freezing temperatures, but the growing season's a bit farther along downstate here, and overnight low temperatures below freezing all the way down south of the Ohio River. So if you have any tender plants outside, cover them up, bring them indoors, because it's going to be a cold morning. 24 to 28 here locally, 22 to 26 up north, 26 to 30 down in southern Indiana. And here's our satellite picture. A lot of fair skies across the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley. Cloud covering the plains and the Rockies. That should stay out that way for the next several days. High pressure dominating the weather scene. Last night we showed you big storms down in Oklahoma. Oklahoma City, 92-mile-an-hour wind gusts during last night. Valentine, Nebraska, 10 degrees above zero this morning. And the high will dominate our weather scene for the next day or so. Here's Super Radar. Kind of a quiet night out there. Showers and storms down south, a few more back out in the Rockies. Highs tomorrow. Here's the good news. By tomorrow afternoon, upper 50s to around 60 here in central Indiana. So we are going to start a warming trend. Weather map does show high pressure by tomorrow afternoon east of us. The winds are always in a clockwise fashion around high pressure, so we'll be on the backside of the high. Meanwhile, watch this storm out here. That'll start to move out into plain states and bring us a good chance for thunder showers here by Thursday night. And looks like that'll continue right on through Friday and hopefully be out of here in time for the weekend. So my forecast, clear, calm, and cold tonight. Look for frost and a light freeze. Our low by dawn, 26. Then for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, a milder day, the high of 58. Tomorrow night, clear to partly cloudy, a low of 36. And on Thursday, clouds coming in, a warmer day, the high of 68. Thunder showers Thursday night and Friday. Friday's high up around 70. And hopefully it will dry out by the weekend. Right now, we'll say dry Saturday and Sunday in the 60s. But I might change that tomorrow. It could linger into Saturday.
Yeah, but we are in for it tonight. That's the last cold night of the year, probably,
That's right? You
probably
we said that several times.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will be.
Hey, Fred Kalil's back from Cincinnati. Home opener
right,
tonight.
home
for the
opener
Reds.
tonight.
And highlights for you right after this.
First Weather, brought to you by DuPont Classic.
I've started from square one, from basically all borrowed money. Then I took that money and used it wisely, and probably determination is the biggest drive I had. Everybody says you can't do it, and that's one thing that I don't like, the word can't.
Did I tell you about that? No.
When Dick Mankiewicz joined UPS in 1960,
Still got to work. Still got to deliver the bundles.
we didn't go to Bangkok or Budapest.
Looking good, Mankiewicz.
We didn't even go to West Virginia then.
Very icy, very slippery. You want to take extra care as you're driving out there. Let's go out and have a good one.
We didn't have our own fleet of planes or 100,000 vehicles or the capacity to deliver more packages more efficiently than any company on Earth. But thanks to people like Dick Mankiewicz,
Hey, how you doing, Norm?
Oh, hi, Dick.
we do now.
Some window.
I'm Bill Hurst. If you've been injured in an accident and believe someone else is at fault, we would like to help you. You can see us for free, and we're paid only if we win your claim and you collect. It's the only fair way.
Call Bill Hurst and his partners for a free consultation.
This is no ordinary pickup. It's a Ford Ranger, America's #1 selling compact pickup. Now, for a limited time, we're celebrating with a special Ranger just for this area. With air conditioning, power steering, electronic AM/FM stereo with cassette, V6, cast aluminum wheels, sliding rear window, chrome rear step bumper, and more. And a $2,000 factory discount and a $1,000 cash bonus from Ford. Save $3,000 and drive it home for $9,421.
Okay, here's Fred now. Just, I don't say flew in from Cincinnati. You drove in.
We
from
drove
Cincinnati.
in. We didn't drive that fast.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of budget
Dennis
around
Goins
here.
behind the wheel.
Wasn't a bus then.
Wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't a bus.
No, okay.
No.
Reds cannot lose, can they?
They played great today against the San Diego Padres, but only 38,000 showed up for the Reds home opener. But those who did travel to Riverfront Stadium this afternoon weren't disappointed with what they saw from their unbeaten home team. The chilly temperatures and wet weather kept many fans away from Riverfront Stadium today, but it didn't keep the pageantry away from the 106th National League opening day at Cincinnati. And while it's hard to forget the turmoil which filled the '89 season, it seems, at least for now, the Reds have put it behind them. The Reds are off to their best start since 1980 when they went 8-0. But what has been the difference this year?
It starts with Lou Piniella. He came into camp and told everybody the way things were going to be. He said we have to put ourselves in a position to win. We have to do the little things right. We have to stress the little things. And that's what we're doing right now in the games, and we're putting ourselves in a position to win, and that's why we're winning.
But listen, the players are the ones that get it done on the field. They're the ones that are important. Myself and the staff are here just to supervise and ensure that things go right. But the players are the ones that should be in the forefront.
And on the field today, the Reds continued their red-hot ways. Barry Larkin, who's had at least 2 hits in every game this season, came up with 3 this afternoon. Starter and winning pitcher Tom Browning went 6 strong innings. A 2-run second keyed the Cincinnati victory as both Mariano Duncan and Billy Hatcher came up with RBI singles. Todd Benzinger scored the first run when San Diego's third baseman cut a throw that could have nailed him. Hatcher's hit scored catcher Joe Oliver. San Diego's lone run came when Benito Santiago hit his second homer of the season. Randy Myers came on for his 3rd save of this year, and the Reds moved to 7-0 with a 2-1 victory.
It was fun coming back home and playing in front of the home fans, and the players enjoyed it thoroughly, and so did I.
National League scoreboard now. The Cubs have just beaten the Mets. Howard Johnson, a 2-run error in 13. The Cubs 8-6. Houston beats Atlanta, Philly, and Pittsburgh, your other winners. The Chicago White Sox were trying to keep their fast start intact. The Sox tonight played at home against the Boston Red Sox. Pick it up with Ellis Burks up the middle for the RBI. It scores Wade Boggs 1-0 Bo Sox. Then Ron Kittle comes up to the plate and a 450-foot home run. He's 6'4", 220 from Gary. Look at that thing on the roof. Ozzie Guillen hit an RBI in the 9th. Final 2-1 Sox win. As we go to the scoreboard now, tell you that Minnesota and Seattle are tied in the 5th inning. Kansas City over Cleveland. Toronto has beaten Baltimore. New York beats Detroit. Texas over Milwaukee, and Oakland is leading California. That game is in the 6th inning right now. The Indians were winners again today. The Tribe beat Omaha 2-1 at Busch Stadium. They play host to Denver tomorrow night. Denver has real neat hats, so you should go to the game just to see them. They're like blue and green. They're pretty neat. NBA tonight, good news, bad news for the Pacers. Good news, Cleveland beat Milwaukee. Pacers the half game out of 6th. Craig Elo hits the 3 to end the first, but now Cleveland still in the running for the 7th spot, 96-88 the final. Let's go to the board and tell you that Atlanta was also a winner over Jersey. Atlanta just a half game behind Cleveland now. Chicago and Washington won tonight. Lakers looking tough over Seattle. Denver beats Minnesota. Houston and Dallas, your other winners. In hockey, the Boston Bruins beat Hartford 3-1 tonight, and the Bruins win the series 4-3 over the Whalers. And the mayor of Oakland is asking the city council to rescind the $428 million deal to lure the Raiders back to the Bay Area. Mayor Lionel Wilson says Oakland's attempt to lure the Raiders back to Oakland isn't dead, but it's dying. And the guy that George Foreman fought tonight was definitely dying. You see that mouthpiece go flying? Mike Jamison, okay? The guy wears his trunks about like I would, you know, kind of pull them up over your belly buttons to make you think you're skinny. Look at this guy. Gets beat up. He only had a week's notice to say, you know, that he was going to fight George Foreman. No, well, it's the preacher, and, well, I tell you what, that guy was praying he wouldn't get back up.
Are they serious about this? Is that a actual fight?
Yeah, it's a big-time fight. So it's like 21-0 in his comeback now. He's going to fight Tyson.
Okay. All right, Fred, thanks.
Well, still to come on News 8. If you've ever driven through Kokomo on US 31, then you probably know about the bypass problem. Well, there's talk of a solution. Details on that coming up.
At Wish TV News 8, we know mornings are busy. That's why our expanded daybreak was designed with you in mind. Indy's first hour-long morning newscast is a continuous cycle of news, weather, even special features, so you can get the information you want when you want it. Ease into your day with Daybreak. Join David Barris and Randy Ollis and make Daybreak a part of your morning routine. Only on Wish TV News 8.
Open your Ameritech Pages Plus to the Touch 4 section, dial the number and the 4-digit code, and get free telephone updates on the weather. Find out who won and who got traded. Get all the dirt on your favorite soap.
I'm sorry I shot John, but I had to be with you.
My brother John? Touch 4 free phone updates, only in your Ameritech Pages Plus.
At the Olive Garden, at the end of every generous bowl of crisp garden salad, every bountiful basket of soft, fresh-baked breadsticks, and every warm, friendly smile, you will always find another, and another, and another. Because at the Olive Garden, the word generosity begins with a G, but ends only when you are happy. The Olive Garden Italian restaurant, where all the best of Italy is yours.
Who would sell a hot new 90 Pontiac Grand Am for only $83.88?
Tom Wood would.
Oh, come on. Who'd think of selling a new 91 GMC Sonoma pickup for only $136 a month?
Tom Wood would.
Would anyone even consider giving discounts on popular Mazda 929s or putting sale prices on hot-selling Mazda MPV vans?
Tom Wood would.
Tom Wood Pontiac GMC truck Mazda Isuzu just off 465 on East Washington, because
Tom Wood would.
The city of Kokomo has enjoyed a revitalization during the past few years, but the town has paid the price for progress.
News 8's Ethel Micka reports on a traffic problem there that people can't seem to bypass.
906 accidents, 401 with injuries, and 9 fatalities on the US 31 bypass within the last 3 years. 31 bypasses downtown Kokomo, but goes through the heart of the industrial commercial district. A 54-year-old Delco Electronics retiree on his last day at the plant was killed when a semi-driver ran a light. Shelley Collins, a freshman at IU Kokomo on April 2nd, was killed by a semi-driver who also ran a light.
And I have received probably a couple of hundred telephone calls in the last couple of days, and a good number of those people have in some way or other either lost a family member or have had someone seriously injured.
Janet Fleener-Smith is a Collins family friend and also heads the Bypass Action Committee of Kokomo, formed after Shelley's death.
We'd like to slow the traffic down to about 35 miles an hour.
I've discussed with the sheriff us upping the ante on enforcement.
But he says that won't help bad engineering.
A Purdue University study showed that US 31 was obsolete when it was completed in 1956. Too many entrances onto the highway that now cannot be fixed.
The city's actively now pursuing a crossing that we refer to as a 17th Street crossing that will hook the two malls up.
Thereby hopefully eliminating 10,000 vehicles from an intersection that handles up to 53,000 daily. Not a big solution, but a start. In Kokomo, Ethel Micka, Wish TV, News 8.
In case you haven't heard, most everything on Wendy's Super Value menu is just 99 cents each. Music adds nice touch.
And that includes Wendy's new Junior Swiss Deluxe with the works.
Wendy's Super Value menu has a lot of delicious food. Biggie fries, biggie drinks, crisp garden salads, hot baked potatoes, Frosties, our rich and meaty chili, and most everything, including our Junior Swiss Deluxe, is just 99 cents each.
Valvoline says it's the highest quality. But in an auto manufacturer's recommended viscosity test, Valvoline 1040 breaks down and falls out of grade. Castrol shows no significant breakdown and provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol, or your engine might undergo a degrading experience. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Change to Castrol at all Indianapolis area pit pros.
In the beginning, there's the luxury of just sitting still in the Infiniti Q45. Time enough to consider the numbers. 278 horsepower, 4.5-liter V8 engine. Then those numbers are translated into 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds. At which point you only have time to consider that wow is an involuntary reaction of pure pleasure.
Let's suppose 2 cockroaches decide to waltz into your home and set up light housekeeping. In just 21 days, you'll have 40 more. In just 1 year, you could have 400,000. Unless you call Terminix. Terminix technicians use safe, proven methods and EPA-registered materials to solve your toughest bug problems. We guarantee it. No ifs, ands, or bugs. Terminix. Call now for free pest inspection.
Final story, Woman magazine confirms it now. Men and women don't speak the same language. For example, in the recent edition, it says the word relationship. To women, that means a couple of people having more than 3 dates. To a man, it means a commitment involving a legal document. Or take the word commitment. Woman magazine says women take that to mean they won't look at another man. Men takes it to mean they will look at other women, but they won't talk about it. Once again, remember, this is Woman magazine, so this is probably a little
Honesty
biased.
magazine. That's right. That's our news this evening. I'm Debbie Knox.
Bye-bye, Ahern. Good night.
Good one.